What does INVEST stand for? In INVEST, I stands for independent. We want our user stories to be independent. They should be something that we can work on independently. They should not be dependent on other user stories. All of the requirements and all of the aspect needed to deliver that user story must be part of the user story. For instance, building a UI interface, doing the database change, writing the backend code, they should be part of the user story. That user story should be front, back, and everything that is required to deliver that little set of functionality or a feature. So user story, ideally we want them to be independent. Unfortunately, because of technical reasons, some user stories are not independent, but they should not be the norm. They should be the outliers. N in a user story stands for negotiable. User stories are placeholder for conversations, so they are not a contract. So we should want to have a conversation. We want to negotiate with our stakeholders what that user story means. We want to have that conversation of what is the best way to deliver that. So in INVEST, the N stands for negotiable. We want those stories to be negotiable. We don't want them to be a contract. V in INVEST stands for value. Every user story that we deliver should contain a value. What we find these days is that 60% of the features delivered in apps, in software, are generally not used. So what a waste of money, effort, and energy by the teams building these features that are never used. So let's make sure that when we are about to deliver any user story, that we can explain the value it will deliver to our end users. And if we cannot explain the value, then what's the point of delivering it? Then let's grab that user story and try to focus on the user stories that will be delivered, that will deliver value to our end users and make that application small but robust as well. And that brings benefits to our users. E in INVEST stands for estimatable. So every user story, we should be able to estimate that. We should know how much work is contained to deliver that. Most teams will estimate in story points, but even if you are using something like #NoEstimate, still we want to make sure that when we are about to commit to that user story in our sprint, we can explain how much work is required to deliver that user story. So it's not that it's an endless piece of work. It should have a scope, and we should understand the scope of what is required to deliver this user story. So we want that to be estimatable. S in INVEST stands for small or size small. We want our user stories to be small as possible and deliver on frequently. The user stories should take hours to deliver, not days. So try to make them as small as possible. And we should want to limit the functionality we want to deliver in a user story, only the minimum that is required for that user story to be successful. T in INVEST stands for testable. Every user story should be able to be tested. We should know how we're going to test that. And when we are estimating any user story, we should include the effort required to test that user story. So we want to make sure that when we deliver this user story, it's fully trusted, it is fully robust. So T in INVEST stands for testable. There is a really good book on writing user stories. You can see it here on the screen, the image of it. I'm going to share the link to it below in the description. It's one of the best books on writing user stories, and I recommend all product owners to read that. And it covers that INVEST model inside it. And if you have liked this video, or if you found any information from this video beneficial, then please press thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you for watching.